Three words. High and tight. Right in there. Bryce Brown, right in there.
Here I am, it's the on-campus kingpin, yes I am.
Eagle Sessions, Gayle Saunders here, and we are talking the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles lose another one, 8 straight losses and then 2 losses to the Dallas Cowboys this year. A 38-33 teaser, and I say teaser because the Eagles, as much as we're in a heartache over here trying to get a W, trying to get out of the funk that we've been all year, our football season has been whack as hell. So, I mean, really, Eagles, they put it right in front of you. They think you're going to win, and they take it away. Bryce Brown had another record-breaking performance. It's two starts, and he's rushed over 150 yards. Honestly, I love what they did. The Eagles' offense played phenomenal. Finally, Nick Foles actually looked pretty decent. I'm not going to say he looked great. He threw a touchdown, I think over 250 yards passing. Bryce Brown, I think around 170 yards again, or 169 or somewhere around there. But Bryce Brown played pretty well. The blocking on the offensive line was pretty decent. There was only 1 sack on the night. Why? They had a very balanced attack. They only started passing more towards the end of the game. I saw a lot of positives on the offensive side of the ball. They finally had a game plan which made sense. And the way Bryce Brown was running, he's a north-south guy. He gets upfield. He's got a great stride. Players don't realize he has he runs like a 4.3, and he is running by cats. And you're seeing every week safeties are taking bad angles on Bryce Brown. But a big negative again, Bryce Brown with the fumble, epic fumble. And then the thing about Bryce Brown is I guess last week was his first start since high school. So that's his second start since high school is now in the NFL playing for the Eagles. His third start was just last night since high school, and he had another epic performance. But the thing about having, not so much experience is you make mistakes like carrying the ball like a loaf of bread. But one thing I want to talk about, one thing that's been like everybody saw it, is the defense. The defense is atrocious. I'm not going to give it. The front line could get more pressure, but the safeties. Again, last week, what else can you say more about the safeties? Time and time again, Nate Allen and Kurt Coleman are out of position. With those kind of performances, you have to start sitting guys, and it's just ridiculous. Their lack of effort on some of these tackles, DRC on the goal line. I'm talking about, just simple things like, you're on the goal line. You should not be 8 yards off of Des Bryant. Get inside. Make him go outside. Don't let him run through you. At least you're not going to get jacked up like you did on that play on the goal line and made a poor effort at a tackle. It was bad. But you saw Nnamdi Asomugha as well on the other side. He was playing off coverage. It's like 3rd and 10, and he's playing off coverage. Coverages are just so mind-boggling. I don't know what the safeties are doing. The communication has got to be off. Again, the defense has gotten blown out. I mean, quarterbacks are putting up like 142 ratings is the average for quarterbacks in the last couple games. And it's just sad. I mean, they're not stopping anybody. And to make matters worse, they let Jim Washburn go. I don't know if that's worse or better. And word on the streets, Jim Washburn was doing his own thing. And then also, Howard Mudd said he's going to retire at the end of the year. Those are things that I was talking about last year, in the sense of when you bring in high-priced coaches who have their own specialists that come in. Jim Washburn, he wanted Jason Babin. The Eagles brought back Jason Babin. A guy like Howard Mudd comes in for these 2 years, brings in his kind of lineman. Now Howard Mudd's going to be gone, and he's going to retire. Jim Washburn is gone. Some of the guys that he wanted on this defensive line are going to still be here, but the coach is going to be gone. So what do? The next guy that comes in has to inherit some of the players that the coach prior to him had, and I don't know if that's going to work. It might take even longer for us to develop into the team that we want to be defensively. So that's what it is. You saw the game. What pissed you off, and what excited you the most? I mean, it's got to be Bryce Brown. It's got to be the running game and what the creativity that they brought. But a big shout out to Damaris Johnson. I mean, he came through in the clutch at the end of the game. Finally, he broke one. I mean, the guy is pretty quick. On top of that, the big news of today is that Andy Reid has named Nick Foles the starter going forward. It might come as a shock to some folks, but with the whole concussion thing and Vic not clearing, it makes you think it makes you think twice. And with Andy Reid just saying that Michael Vick was his quarterback when he comes back healthy, he just changed his mind again, and now he's saying Nick Foles is his quarterback. I don't know if that's coming from above, someone is in his ear, or is Andy Reid trying to make a play to be head coach next year, to get one more shot. He does have one more year on the deal, I believe. Can we see Andy Reid for another year? I know I can. I mean, he's had 14 years. I mean, what else can we expect from Andy Reid? From what? Can we teach old dogs new tricks? I don't think so. I do like the fact that they're going to see what Nick Foles has. And if Nick Foles doesn't show what he's capable of in the next couple weeks, then you still have Vic. I don't know if the next guy that's going to be the head coach of this team, will he be satisfied with Vic? I don't know. Or you can draft a quarterback and have him sit behind Vic or something of that nature. But it's going to be interesting. Andy Reid in 2013, I don't know. I don't think Eagles fans would stand for it. I know Jeff Lurie has got to be wondering, how did this whole thing blow up in my face? I think you got to put on Andy Reid. He mismanaged this team pretty badly, and it blew up in his face. I mean, you can only fire guys around you for so long. You fired Sean McDermott. You fired other guys. You fired Juan Castillo. You fired Jim Washburn. Howard Mudd is now leaving. But you put this puzzle together. You put the pieces. You brought these pieces in. And when you have a guy that has that much control of the team, things like this can happen. So I'm not putting all the blame. I'm putting most of the blame on Andy Reid, but Harry Roseman drafted some of these guys and brought him in. He's the GM. And ultimately, Jeff Lurie has the blame as well. This is his team. If you're an owner, you have to have some kind of control. You can't just let some guy come in and just take over your team, because sales are low in the merchandise area. So, Eagles sessions. Gayle Saunders here. It's a tough time to go on as an Eagle fan, but we here love the Eagles. We're gonna fly. Eagles fly regardless. I hope you guys are sticking it out. We have to think positive moving forward. I don't want to be the city of Negadelphia. I want this to be the city of brotherly love, and Philadelphia, home of the future Super Bowl champions. I'm living the dream right now, I guess. But Eagle Sessions, that's all for me. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next week.